your article, you do mention about like granularity versus big category.
Yeah.
So how do you see this tribes going on?
There's kind of two ways to look at this. One is from a business perspective, and then the other is from a people perspective. So from a business perspective, like you mentioned, Hoi, there's this kind of information, but also choice overload. And what that means is traditionally, the big brands were able to be like, here's our product, we've got it everywhere, here's a big TV advert.
That's true.
And then kind of the consumer there's only a number of options. And I think where this is turning into is almost a case of chaos, because you don't have a single channel or a single kind of, you don't have a single physical or digital channel. It's suddenly these kind of pockets that are everywhere. So you're almost not in control of the narrative anymore. So it becomes more important to understand what's happening in culture and what's happening in people's lives and work your brand around that. And then in terms of people, I think the word tribes is kind of an acknowledgement that even though things are changing so fast and there's so much change, the human psyche and human behavior, the way we go about things hasn't changed for thousands of years. And if you can kind of tap into that, if you can tap into what's remained unchanged, because that's arguably the most valuable stuff, because that never differs, but also understand the emerging trends, I think that's where things become powerful.
And then create a new experience, right? Like remash it.
The other thing you mentioned about kind of the connection that technology enables, and I'd love to hear Sparklin's view on this, but in the past, tribes were almost limited by your geography. So for instance, I don't know, 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, you were part of a tribe because that's what you were born into. I think what the internet has enabled is this kind of expansive world where you can choose your own tribe based on your values and your beliefs.
People have to realize that is what internet truly has done is you as an individual has a lot of power now. You can create a web page, right? You can have an account, you can start to communicate out. This is like you has a channel to the world. That means rest of the internet is your world. But the challenge is the network traffic, right? Like everyone trying to go through this traffic, and then there's certain big algorithms going on, which is Google has Google algorithm, like start ranking, different platforms have different ranking. Remember during the past, when email was the first app, right? Oh, digital email, got us super excited. Somebody, my friends actually can send digital email so fast. We love it. And suddenly that email box become overloaded, right? Because it's a channel that is allow you to reach the other end. So I think once we really understand that is technology, internet, it just by nature, it is two-way, it is complex network traffic. But it's a world that is controlled by those building blocks. And then there's the algorithms, there's the traffic, there's some like big act. Besides the techie people, geek people, we need other people to be involved in that digital world, right? It's the more other domain experts or diverse discipline people understand it and then start to ask great questions about what could be the world we all want to co-living inside of that.